Hey Peeps! Today I'm going to talk about when I met Jesse and Jeana and my experiences with them and just overall what happened and how I met them. Okay, so the first time I met them was in May 2015 and it was later at night. It was probably like around 9ish, and my friend and I, we were walking around Penn's Landing. We were on this straightaway and there weren't really that many people around the area we were in. And at the straightaway there were two staircases, and at the bottom of the staircase there's this group, maybe like, I think it was 4 people. So my friend and I, but I didn't really pay any mind to it. My friend and I, we were walking, and as we were walking by I made eye contact with this person. I just stood there and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, that's Jesse. And so I don't know, I started fangirling, but to my friend, he was like, yo, chill, like you can't meet them all hype. And I walked up to them and I was like, hi, I'm Anna. And they're like, hi, sweetheart. And Jeana asked me how old I was. And at the time I was 16, so I said, I'm 16. She's like, really? You look older than that. And I was like, thanks. Jesse, he's a lot quieter in person than he seems in the vlogs. They're really nice, but they were kind of in a hurry, so I just let them be. And we took a picture and they were just super nice. When they walked away, I started freaking out to my friend and I was like, oh my gosh, I just met Jesse and Jeana. And they were with their 2 friends too. They walked away with them. I was freaking out. And so they went towards the roller rink, where my friend and I, we were heading anyway, so I don't know, we were kind of following them but kind of not. And we walked over and I saw them vlogging near the roller rink. And I was like, oh my gosh, so that's what it looks like. And my friend and I went roller skating, so we got our roller skates, and Jesse went to use the restroom and Jeana was just standing around, so I walked up to her and we had like a nice little conversation. And then Jesse walked back up to us. They were looking for a concert and he was like, do you know where the concert is? I was like, no. They were talking about it in the vlog previous to that day, about how they were coming down, and we were just talking for a little bit and they got to know me, kinda. And that was the end of the first experience. So the second time I met them was August. It was probably around 4ish, and my friends and I, we got off the train. As we were crossing the street, I saw this like huge camera set up. I was like, what the heck is going on? I saw Jesse and I started freaking out to one of my friends. I was like, oh my gosh, there's Jesse Wellens. Because all my close friends know I'm obsessed with them. Jesse had headphones in, so I didn't want to interrupt because they were in the middle of filming a prank. I saw Dennis and he was in the suit, and he was just like walking around trying to scare people. It was actually really funny to watch, like kind of standing behind him. He's like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. How are you? He's like, I'm good. He's like, do you want a picture? And I'm like, and so we took a picture. We took a couple actually. And then I walked away and I let him be, because like I could tell I didn't want to interrupt them, but I could tell I kind of was. And so my friends and I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I actually got them some donuts. And then we went back up and Jesse relocated to an island kind of in the middle of the street. I was just standing next to him and we actually saw part of what they put in the prank get filmed. And I don't know, it's just really cool to see like the other side of the camera. And so then after they're done, we were talking for a little bit, and then Jeana comes over and so does Dennis, and it was really cool to see them again. And Jeana remembered me. She's like, hey, didn't we meet you already? And I'm like, and so I was like, I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, we met you near the roller rink, didn't we? And I was like, yeah. They're the sweetest people, and they're always so kind and so nice, and they take time out to talk to their fans. The next time I met them was September 12th, 2015, and so it was only a month later, and they were a team for the Ovarian Cancer Coalition Walk. And so my friend and I, we joined up, and we got there really early. We got there like at 7 a.m. in the morning, and Jesse and Jeana didn't get there till like, I don't know, like later, around 8. I don't remember the exact times. Everyone was forming lines to take pictures and talk to them. And so when I was in line, I got 2 t-shirts made, and one says the world's greatest dad and the other one says world's greatest mom. And of course I was gonna like ask them for a picture with them, because I don't know why, I always call them my mom and dad. And so I brought it out and they were like, oh my gosh. Jesse was like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 16. He was like, that means I would have had you when I was like 15. And I was like, yeah. I don't know, I'm really like shy and quiet around them. I made a video and I tweeted to them like a couple times so they could see it, and I didn't even bring it up, and they both like brought it up. Jesse was like, yeah, I see you're a hardcore peep, always tweeting at me and whatnot, and I was like,
oh my gosh, Jesse just called you a hardcore peep.
And Jeana was like, yeah, I saw that video, it was so funny, and I was like,
oh my gosh.
so I was freaking out, man. Because I watch them every day. Like, I love them so much. And then Jeana was like, yeah, didn't we just see you? Haven't we met before? And I was like,
yeah.
Jesse was like, yeah, didn't you see us when we were filming that prank? Peeps, this is the coolest part, I just remembered. I was like, yeah. And Jesse's like, well, it's on my phone. Do you want to see it? We just finished editing it last night. And I was like,
yeah, I'll see it.
And so he gave me his phone, and it was cracked. His phone was cracked. He gave me his phone, and the video was pretty long. I don't know, I think it was over 5 minutes, and I had his phone the whole time. And when I was watching the video, he put me in the vlog. And then there are a bunch of PV peeps that surrounded me watching the new prank video, and I was holding Jesse's phone watching the new prank that didn't even come out yet. That was probably the coolest moment of my entire life. After I finished watching, I gave him his phone back. And I was like, it's so funny. It's really, really good. You did a really good job editing. He was like, thanks. It takes a while to make pranks like these out in the public. And I'm like, yeah, it probably does, doesn't it? He's like, yeah. And we just talked about other things, but I forget because it was just like small talk. And Jeana's dad was there too, so I met her dad. Her dad's really nice. He's very humble. And I forgot to say, but when I gave them the shirts that said World's Best Mom and World's Best Dad, Jeana was like, we're not that old, you know that? And I'm like, I'm not saying you're old, I'm just saying like you guys are my mom and dad. So then we went for the walk, and it was a 5K. I think it was a 5K, I'm not sure. But it was just really cool because all the peeps, you just got to see all the peeps talking to them and get to know them, and them talking to the peeps. That was really the whole walk. It was awesome. And then afterwards, we hung out in their tent as the peeps left. By the time we left, it was just me, my friend, Jesse, Jeana, and this other peep. So it was just the 5 of us, and we were just talking and getting to know them. Like, it was so surreal.
It's probably Jesse. Do you text on your hoverboard?
I bought the hoverboard. I rode it for about a week, maybe outside 3 times because I feel like people.
I've actually like got to talk to them when they weren't like surrounded by people and like having people watch me talk to them, because like when you have people watch you talk to someone, it's just so nerve-wracking because I'm like really awkward. So we just talked about anything, and they asked me how's school and how's life and where I live, and like I asked them how the cats are, and Jesse was saying how he wished he brought his boosted board so the peeps could ride it, and I'm like, that would have been so dope to ride Jesse's boosted board.
I would have let each peep. Would you have rode me? I was like, here, you want to try this?
Yes.
I would have fell flat on my face.
No, you could put it in the slowest speed.
That's exactly electric skateboard? I would totally do that.
See?
I would have fell flat on my face.
It's a long board. It's a long board. Well, I'm with my daughter Anna, you know what I mean, we're hanging out because I'm her dad apparently, but
He's my dad.
she wanted me to bring her to the Ovarian Cancer Coalition walk, so we out here.
Thanks. Hi guys.
Hi. Thank you,
Jeana.
Anna, for coming to the walk. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
With your contribution, we were able to be top team, so that is awesome.
Those are my experiences with Jesse and Jeana. They're just pretty awesome people. And if you hate on them, I don't know what your problem is, because they're just so humble and they're real. So those are my stories, and thanks for watching.